What I'm most thankful for is people that have created psychologically safe spaces. So Rex Felice, she and I still talk 20 years later, and we'll probably talk about you and I chatting today later on.
Tell her
But
hi.
yes, absolutely. But she has created this psychologically safe space for me to bounce some ideas, challenge where I'm coming from. So she's my human AI that helps me grow and be better. And
Mhm.
for the longest time, I thought it was only her that I could reach out to with her plethora of connections. But I was very fortunate to find that there are a lot of friends that don't know how to set up psychologically safe spaces. I'm always hesitant to reach out. Deb, I'm American, or I'm Asian, I'm INTJ. I'm very timid in real life despite leadership positions. But I don't like to impose myself on others. Where I've found that with my friends and my connections, you're not imposing. We want to help you. We want to see you succeed. And after being cognizant that there are safe spaces, there are safe people that I can talk to, it's definitely gotten a lot easier to open up and extend a hand, ask for help.
I love that, and I think it's so important. And let's stay there for a second, because help me if I have people in my network who are in this position, and I want to create that psychologically safe space for them. What help me understand? I think I know what that looks like, but assume I don't. What do I need to do that?
So, and it's probably going to be different for everybody as far
Okay.
as creating the space. But for me, the first step is always going to be just having intentions, positive intentions, reaching out to make an earnest attempt to ask how they are, how they're doing, what are they
Yes.
feeling, what's going on in their day to day outside from the circus, outside from the hardships and everything else that's going on. Bern, what's going on with your dog? How is your husband? How are you adjusting to
Yeah.
life in Phoenix? That's really the first step. And then that just becomes an organic conversation where you're starting to let your guard down because now your personal life is being talked about. And now you feel safe to ask about what do you think about this particular project or what do you think about this role? And then it becomes a guided conversation. But that very first step of asking, Bern, how's your dog doing? That always wins me over. But it's that very first step of making that human connection it's important.
So I love that. Yeah. So let's just challenge everyone who wants to help to be focused on that, right? To pick whatever one person to be intentional about creating a psychologically safe space this week when you hear this episode. I think that's helpful for me, Bern. And that word intention is so important, right? Because yeah, our time gets prioritized in based on what we prioritize, right? We have the ability to create that time and to create that space for people and to be intentional about that, and to not be afraid, not feel guilty because we're not currently seeking a new role. We feel like, because a lot of people feel like we avoid people who are seeking because we do feel guilty and we don't know what to do. So I think that's such a good example of something we can do to help. So I love that.